Welcome to my channel, the place to design a career and life that you love. If you have been applying for jobs and sending out your resumes but haven't been hearing anything back, then keep on watching, because in today's video I will be sharing with you 7 reasons why you might not be getting through to the employers and not getting the invitations to the interviews. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Make sure that you watch this video till the very end, as I will be sharing a bonus tip with you at the end of this video. And without further ado, let's get started. So reason number 1 why you might not be getting through to the interview stage is not having a job strategy. As I have already mentioned in my previous video, if your only job strategy is applying for jobs online, then you will not get very far. Applying for all the jobs that you see advertised is also a mistake. Rather, take your time, get clear on what is it exactly that you want to do next, what your next job should look like in order for you to get closer to your ultimate career goal, and then target those positions. I would also recommend to get very clear on what kind of company you want to work for and what kind of culture that company would have, as this will allow you, firstly, to choose the company that you would be the most comfortable working in, that really suits your personality, and also, which is a huge advantage, it will allow you to stand out from other candidates because you will be a very good cultural fit for that company as well. So when you have the strategy and the right strategy, it is also easier to identify the right people that you can put your CV and the cover letter in front of to get better opportunity for your CV actually being seen and read, and it will increase your chances of getting the interview invite. So start with clarity, define your personal brand, identify what your ultimate career goal is, and then base your job strategy on this information. So the reason number 2 is ATS. For those of you who might not know, ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System, and this is a software that the companies use to filter the candidates and allow only those to go through who meet the specific requirements. The truth is that you will never really know for 100% what those requirements are, and while you of course can optimize your CV with the keywords, but most of the time you will be guessing what these words are. I personally think that ATS systems are a big flaws in the recruitment process, and they leave a lot of good and qualified candidates out of the process. One other reason why I also think that the ATS is not really working is because recruitment process has changed quite a bit. Before, the main requisite that recruiters and hiring managers were looking for were the skills and the qualifications. Now is more about cultural fit, ability to adjust, and the right attitude. And ATS simply cannot check for those things. But the good news is that, firstly, not all the companies are using ATS software, especially smaller companies and the startups tend not to use this, as it is an additional expense for them. So the chances of your CV being actually read is higher when you apply for smaller companies. And secondly, there is a way of getting around ATS, and that is networking. Networking is pivotal in your career, so if you haven't started yet, you should get on it right now. Reason number 3 why you might not be getting through to the interview stage is that you are positioning yourself as a generalist. So let me explain what I mean by this. Imagine that you were going out with your other half and you wanted to eat a steak. Which restaurant would you choose? Would you choose an average restaurant that does everything? Or would you choose a specialized steakhouse that might be slightly pricier, but you will get the best quality steak? If I was looking for a good steak, I would definitely choose that steakhouse. Would you not? Tell me guys in the comments below yes or no, and which one would you choose? So the same applies for the job specialization. Every company wants a specialist, and they are also prepared to pay higher salaries for a specialist. The cost of recruiting a new employee sometimes is between 100 to 120% of your salary. So the companies want to get a return on their investment, and that's why they will be looking for a specialist who is great at what he or she does. So you really need to think about how do you present yourself as a specialist in your job and show that you can solve a company's problem. Reason number 4 is that you do not have a network in the companies that you want to work for. And I know you're probably getting tired of me saying this all the time, but your network is important. About 80% of all the jobs are being filled by the candidates who come from the referrals. In order for you to progress and move forward in your career, you have to have a network. You need to realize that you are getting hired all the time and you have to be building your network all the time. So when you do decide to move on, you can tap into that network and ask, how can I get an attention of that hiring manager? Also, what I want you to remember is that it is much easier to network when you have a job rather than to network when you need one. So make sure you network all the time, offline and online. You can start with LinkedIn, which is an amazing tool. Moving on to reason number 5 why you are not getting through to the interview stage is having an outdated cover letter. Using the outdated cover letter templates or using very formal language makes all the cover letters look the same. So make sure you watch my previous video on how to write a standout cover letter before you start writing yours. I will leave a link in the description box below. Tell a story in your cover letter, how you feel connected to the employer, how do you identify with their company culture. Make it personal and authentic and don't use your cover letter to recap your resume. Reason number 6 why you might not be getting through to the interview stage is not having a good resume. Make sure to watch this video right here where I will walk you through the steps how to write a really good resume. But just to recap, make sure you use a simple and professional template, try and fit it on one page, make sure you quantify your achievements and results, use bullet points and write a really good profile summary. Moving on to reason number 7 is not having an optimized LinkedIn profile. Most of the recruiters who will look at your CV will also look at your LinkedIn profile, and one of the reasons is to see if they match. If they don't, recruiters might be on the fence to invite you for an interview, so make sure your LinkedIn profile and your resume are in line. And in general, make sure your profile is optimized and updated, otherwise you might be missing out on great opportunities that are out there. I know that looking for a job is stressful and time-consuming, and especially if you really hate your job at the company that you're currently working in. Trust me, I get you. I was there myself before and I made the same mistake as a lot of people make. I took the first job that I got an offer for just to get out. It wasn't the best decision, of course, and a couple of months down the line, I was looking for a new job again because I wasn't happy at the current company. And reason that I wasn't happy in the company because I didn't align my end career goal, it didn't bring me any closer to it, and in fact, it was taking me in a completely different direction as I wanted to. So I want you not to make the same mistake as I did, so take your time, really think about your next steps, think what do you want to go and what job strategy would work best for you. Hope you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to not miss a new video. If you find yourself hating your job and desperately want to get out, make sure you watch the next video, as in the next video I will be talking about what you need to do before you hand in the notice and quit your job. I wish you all the best and a great week, and I will see you in the next one.